Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
And I'm Travis.
And this is we'll call it a Mana Cave flashback episode. It's something that I will probably never do again. I had no intention of doing it to begin with. But this is going to be the do-over for episode 77 of the Mana Cave. It was I believe it was the first time we did 1v1 Commander.
I think it was, actually.
Yeah.
Didn't leave a good taste.
No. We both were sort of on the fence about 1v1 Commander. Okay, before I get to all that, episode 77 was one of the few games where we got a bit, I more than Travis, got a bit salty. And it's not like we weren't flipping tables, there wasn't like, cursing each other and stuff like that. But, yeah, exactly.
There. Creature's destroyed now, isn't it?
Try to cast it now, man. No. But it was one of the ones where, even though, like, after because we've been friends forever. And so we have a certain amount of currency with one another when it comes to getting in each other's grill, I guess you could say, if you want to use an expression I don't think anyone uses anymore.
No.
And even at the very end of it, we said, hey, don't worry, we're all still friends, and it's like this is not that big of a deal.
I've appeared on a few episodes since then.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Couple of them,
But it also didn't it didn't even leave a bad taste in our mouth. After we recorded that episode, we sat down and we actually discussed, are we even going to air this one?
Yeah. Because
it had a different feel to pretty much every other Mana Cave we've ever done. And that is the big reason why I wanted to sort of do a do-over of it. We did release it, and the thing is, it got great views.
Yeah.
For, one
positive
of our videos.
comments, and there was some camaraderie to, like, I feel your pain, Ed.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
But there were also certain comments, there were certain comments as well, too, which were critical of the saltiness in it. And some people loved it, some people didn't. More people loved it than didn't. And even when you go by the likes vastly outnumbered the dislikes. So I'm not redoing it because of an overwhelming negative response.
Yeah.
I'm actually redoing it because of a comment that was left on a completely different video where, just to paraphrase it, someone was saying that they're new to Magic, they're really enjoying the videos and the friendly sort of way that we play, and that it's helping them learn, and they're really enjoying the game. And the first thought after I read that comment was, oh God, I wonder when they're going to get to episode 77. And if you're thinking about that about any of the episodes, maybe that shouldn't have been released.
Yeah.
So this is going to be kind of weird because technically the winner of this sort of determined a later episode of the Mana Cave, but I'm still almost 99.9% sure that the Vampire deck is going to beat the Wizard deck. By the way, episode 77, which I should have said at the beginning, is 1v1 Commander, the Vampire deck versus Wizards. The
Edgar Markov.
Yes, that's Vampiric Bloodlust?
Something like that.
And Arcane Wizardry are the two names of the decks. So these are from the 2017 Commander decks, that pre-constructed Commander decks. We tweaked them a little bit at the time to make them slightly more 1v1, but we also really underestimated what we need to do to make these 1v1.
Yeah.
So we're going to be replaying these, and it's going to be the friendliness of the game, or the overall vibe of the game, I should say. Because even then, even when I get salty, we're still...
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like you hang out with your friends, and I would never do that in public in like a pre-release or any sort of event unless I knew the person really, really well. I would never get that salty. But we're going to redo this. It's going to be more of a vibe like the every other Mana Cave we've done, and we've done almost 90 of them at this point. Yeah. So that's why I've decided to redo episode 77. Travis is kind enough to agree. So there you go, folks. So when you get to this one, because I'm going to actually, in the playlist, I'm actually going to put this right where 77 would have been. So when you get to this one, understand that this is actually being recorded several months after
the incident.
Yeah, the incident, the original 77. And once again, not to blow this out of proportion, it wasn't like insane. There was no cursing or anything like that. It was just one of those ones where it was a little heated, and part of it had to do with the fact that before we played that one on camera, we had we had played a couple of test ones because we never tried 1v1 Commander. Yeah. And that would be the third time I was getting crushed. So there was sort of some residual salt from previous games, and sadly the one we decided to record was the one where I was just done. So but yeah, once again, it wasn't like insane. So just first, to start things off a little bit more friendly, I've got a gift for Travis. We usually drink beer here when we play on the Mana Cave, so I've got a little gift for Travis. So just a token of my friendship for you to show no hard feelings.
The Jerkface 9000?
That's right.
So I'm actually looking forward to this, actually. It is a wheat beer. And I actually, you know that I love wheat beer. That's why you bought it, right?
That's why I bought it. Yeah, that's exactly why I bought it.
Is it really?
We actually have beers going right now, so they'll probably crack into that a little bit. But yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I actually saw that probably the day after we played that game. And I'm like, I'm going to get this for Travis and give it to him next time I see him. And then...
You want to know something really funny? I actually meant to stop at the beer store, not that game, but a game, and get this and another one because they were like bonus air miles.
Really?
I'm so cheap. But I wanted to try it too because it's called Jerkface 9000.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, I was gonna give that to you like the very next match, but I'm like, no, people are already sort of like, wondering about the salt. I didn't want it to seem like it was actual, like legit issues with the two of us. So yeah, this is gonna be a nice friendly game.
Thank you for the beer.
Oh, you're welcome.
Zza.
Now we're both starting off 7 cards.
No, I am.
You're down to 6. That's right. Once again, though, given the history of the vampire deck and the history of the wizard deck, we're talking about a card that's been banned in 1v1 Commander. Versus a deck which I think is still fun to play, but is
I think it needs like 5-card alteration and a better commander.
Yeah,
and
and it hasn't beaten anything. Anytime we've tested this in 1v1, it hasn't beaten a thing. I don't think
No, it came close. I was doing pretty good in the one.
You probably had the best outing with this deck that I've ever seen, and you were completely unused.
And
to
I only had to cheat a little bit.
Yeah,
because I played a card that had to bounce something that was a graveyard wasn't there anyhow. It'll be like 5 mana caves from now.
We haven't rolled to see who goes first though.
Not
so we'll see that. So 9.
Double green on the 9. Boros 8.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to go first. Right. And the other thing, like I mentioned, the outcome of this sort of affected the outcome of future 1v1s because we just sort of do like mini tournaments with it. So if the vampires don't win, I'll be amazed. But if the vampires do end up losing somehow. I have no idea how I'm going to handle that, but we'll find out.
Before you go, though, I do get to scry.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Let me just make sure I'm not overdrawing.
I just don't want you to go first because apparently that's a big thing.
I'm at 7. Okay, yeah.
7. Okay. All right. I'm just going to show what I'm scrying to the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. Because that is a good card that I'm about to scry, especially in this deck. That I'm about to scry to the bottom.
Scrying to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Well, you may start whenever you're ready.
Well, you got 9.
Oh,
I just wanted to before I.
No, I will start. I will start this, Travis. Thank you very much. I'm going to play a mountain and pass the turn to you.
Right, I'm going to draw a mystery card. A lot of hope in that card. That is not any better. So I will. I'll play Windscarred Crag. I gain a life, which is decent for a common. I can tap it for red or white. I go up to 31. I passed you because it's
okay.
It's tapped.
It's my turn. Alrighty, so I'm going to tap the mountain. I have 1 red floating, and that actually was useless. Anyways, I'm going to cast Dimir Aqueduct.
It's a bold move.
Enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. I can tap it for a blue and a black. And so the mountain is going to return to my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. And I have nothing to use that red floating for. Pass turn to you, sir.
Untap. Draw. This is...
Oh, you know what? I think we actually did this the first time we played. We did not go over what the commanders are.
Oh, okay. You explain yours.
I'll explain my first.
Thinking here.
My commander is Inalla, Archmage Ritualist. There we go. I almost got it right the first time. For 2, a blue, black, and a red gets you a 4/5 human wizard. It has Eminence. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Inalla is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. It also has tap 5, untap wizards you control. Target player loses 7 life. That last part, though, requires it to be on the battlefield, and we've never once activated it in all the time I've played this deck.
7's a lot. My commander is Edgar Markov. He's a 4/4 legendary creature, Vampire Knight, for 3 of anything, and Mardu, red, white, black. He's Eminence. is whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token, which does not have flying or haste or... Edgar Markov himself, though, does have first strike and haste, no flying. The other great thing was when he comes out, you can attack with him if you want, and whenever he attacks, you get to put a +1 counter on each vampire you control.
Yes. Okay. They also don't have vigilance, lifelink, death touch. They're 1/1s instead of 2/2s, but I still think they're pretty. That's still pretty powerful in my opinion. For nothing, for no cost whatsoever.
Yeah, I've totally forgotten. I drew a card, right?
I know. Yes, you did draw a card because I read this off because you wanted some time to think. So.
I can do the math too.
There we go.
In fact, I know now what I draw. Okay, what I drew. So, and I wasn't doing the math. So that'll get me. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to play Straight Up Swamp.
Straight Up Swamp.
I'm going to tap this for a card that is in fact banned in
1v1, but. We played a little bit different. We don't, the 30 life total is a reflection of the Magic Online rule for 1v1 Commander, but we don't follow the ban list for it. Obviously, because other Edgar would not be there as well, too. So
I'm going to tap for 3 colorless to cast a card I added. Mirage Mirror. It's an artifact. I can tap 2 mana, and Mirage Mirror becomes a copy of target artifact, creature, enchantment, or land until the end of the turn. It was from Our Devastation. I always thought this card was going to go up in price. It's down to like a $3 card, I think.
Oh, really?
Maybe even less.
Which still is, I mean, like...
Yeah, it's not nothing, but...
It's not nothing, but
it's
still...
It's not the $5 or $6.
It's not like it's not like a $50 card, so...
And if it's $3 in the States, or in Canada, it's probably 50 cents in America.
Yeah, sadly.
So, that is my turn.
Okay.
That's... it's not a vampire, which I'd love to see a vampire in my vampire deck. They're coming, though. Somewhere. Sometime.
I'm going to play a mountain. And then I'm going to tap for 3. And cast Unstable Obelisk. I can tap it for 1 colorless, or I can pay 7, sacrifice it, unstable, and destroy target permanent. Not creature, permanent. And now I pass the turn to you. So kind of slow starts. We're just sort of setting up the boards, but see how it goes.
So weird. Okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? I know what I have to do. This is going to seem all crazy janky. Tap 2, cast the Orzhov Signet. I can tap 1 and tap it to get white and a black. I can't do that. What I want to do.
Okay.
So that's out there.
I'm
going to play the Akoum Refuge. Akoum. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can tap for black or red. I gain a life. I do gain a life. Hey,
look at you in your life gain.
Going crazy now. It enters tapped though, which is totally messes my plans up.
Harsh as your mellow.
Pardon me. I will tap that. No, I can't. Yes. So tap that.
Is this turn 3?
And tap this to get a black and a white. Tap this to put Underworld Connections. It's an enchantment aura, enchant land. Enchant land has tap, pay 1 life, draw a card.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's an awful lot to have.
Do you see a vampire in my, what I would call an aggro vampire deck? No, but they're coming. Don't you worry.
But man,
Sit down.
You're getting set, though. You were getting set up there.
I'd rather be set up with the vampires. I like my tokens. I like my vampires and my buddies. I'll pass to you. Dirtling. I'm dirtling around, I think, is a term.
God, my turn seems so mild compared to yours now.
You don't even have something good that I can copy either. Not that I got, tons of mana. I have a lot of mana.
I gotta be careful with my... I'm not gonna be overdrawing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So still at 7. Okay. So I'm gonna tap for red. I'm gonna have that floating. This time's actually gonna be useful. And then I'm going to play the Rakdos Carnarium, which is much like the Dimir Aqueduct. Enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I return a land I control to my hand, and I can tap this for both black and red. So 1 red still is floating. And then I'm going to tap this for blue and black, and then for 1 other one. So I got red, blue, and black, and a colorless, and I'm going to cast Kess Dissident Mage. It's a 3/4 flying human wizard. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. If a card cast this way would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. Now, I do have the option of using this ability, but I don't have the mana to pay for it. So there's going to be no hasty copy of it.
Okay.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand still, so I haven't overdrawn, because you always have to worry about that sometimes with these bounce back to your hand lands. And I'm going to pass the turn to you now, sir.
Okay. Untap, 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 untap.
And you're not really strong mana base.
Yeah, well, you're not too bad. I mean,
I'm not saying.
You're not quite in Ramp Town, but you're on the off ramp to Ramp Town. Come on, just be a vampire. Why couldn't you be a vampire? Why?
But you get to draw a card if you want to.
I can, but I have to do this all smart. Okay. So let's see if
this is the mana cave. We don't do smart.
I'm gonna pay 2. I feel like I'm just like doing silly stuff here to copy. Is that a legendary creature? But I can copy
it. It is legendary. You
side.
can copy it on your side, yeah.
So I'm going to copy that.
Okay.
I'm going to copy that.
You can copy that.
And then I'm going to tap for red and black. And I'm going to terminate. Destroy target creature. Can't be regenerated.
Oh, man. Okay.
So until the end of the turn, that is a 3/4 with... I can do what now?
You can... you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. If you do cast it this way... from your graveyard, exile it instead of putting it back in your graveyard. So sadly, I don't have anything out for you to terminate because that's just destroy.
Yeah, target creature.
Target creature. Yeah,
and I think it'd be 1 colored mana off of it.
Yeah.
Shucks. Huh?
Man, that's good.
We'll go to combat.
Go to combat. Yeah, I thought I was going to get a see the vampire deck's tricky. Even when you think you're going to be able to swing in first.
Well, that's not from the vampire deck, but it's.
So I'm taking 3.
There is a very similar one, but obviously not as great because you can only copy your own tribe kind of thing.
Okay, yeah.
Thing. Okay. Yeah. So I did that. Then I'm going to, I'll tap this to draw a card and pay 1 life. Enchanted land has tap, pay 1 life, draw a card. So,
but that still puts you 1 life ahead of your starting total. So,
I'm gonna draw a card that's going to be a vampire. You're not a vampire. Okay. So what I'm going to do here.
You haven't played a land yet.
I haven't played land yet. Yeah. The question is, what land do I play? I'll Bajuka Bog. When Bajuka Bog enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. I mean, I probably should have saved that for a better... Because your deck, I think, has graveyard interactions.
But it also depends on... I mean, I know you want to get up to the point where you can cast your commander at some point, right? So it's like...
Because he'd be a vampire, but I don't get his... Ironically, I don't get his trigger on him. I will pass to you. Okay. In fact, I might be able to do that next turn.
Okay. Here we go.
There's 3... 4, 5, 6, 7. I can do that actually.
I will. I'm going to play a Crumbling Necropolis. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can tap it for either blue, black, or red. And that's just about all I'm going to do.
This is the first time I've ever been able to actually play or play and use Mirage Mirror. I've seen other people have Mirror of the Forebears, but I've never actually...
Okay, now, one of the other things we did not do is we didn't show our opening hands. So, which I also think we forgot the very first time we recorded this as well, too. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you the current hands we have. You guys have seen the cards we've played. So now you're going to see where we're standing with the current hands. Travis is going to go first showing you the hand, and then I'm going to show mine afterwards. So you would think, this being sort of a redo of a game, we would do it better. But apparently, no. This is going to be like business as usual.
That's what I got left. I can spread them out a bit because, yeah. I'm going to tip my hat here a bit. Neither of them is a vampire, Ed. Somehow, I think you're aware of that.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
My frustration in the... Again, I shouldn't be that guy because I'm also winning at this point. But I'm a vampire. I want a vampire.
And this is what I got going on, guys. So, you can see sort of a dilemma that I have. And you know what? And because you were kind enough, Travis, I'm going to tell you, there's not a single wizard in this hand. So,
what is going on here?
Let's see. Now, I passed the turn. Have I passed the turn to you yet?
You have not.
I have not. I do have enough to cast my commander.
Ooh, what's he do?
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to risk a removal spell, and I'm going to cast the commander. So Inalla, the 4/5 I mentioned before, which she does with Eminence and all that. So she doesn't really do anything for herself, but now I've got a 4/5 on the board. Pass the turn to you. Wait, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, I did that right. We're good.
Come on, big money. One vampire. You are not a vampire. Play another swamp. So, 1, 2. So there's 3 mana. 4, 5, 6. So that and that. I could copy that and attack with both. Or I could draw another card. I think I'm going to draw another card.
Okay.
Hoping for a vampire.
No, that makes sense to me. I'd probably do the same thing. So
I'll pay life.
Which still only puts you to the starting life total, so.
Draw a vampire. You are not a vampire! I feel silly. This is a vampire deck, but now I'm going to make a vampire.
You do have enough to cast your commander, correct?
Yeah, so that's 1 floating and 1 and this for 3 mana. A black and white and red. And 1, 2. And then the floating one.
Yeah,
right?
So just 2 more, yeah.
So
1, 2,
6.
3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
So big old Edgar Markov.
Oh, no, he has haste, doesn't he?
He has first strike and haste.
Yikes.
And he's going to attack. He's attacking. He gets a +1 counter.
+1 counter.
5, 5.
So I could
strike.
just jump, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to not block. I'm going to take 5, unless you have something else to...
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so I'm down to 22. This is going about how I expected to.
Yeah. I have yet to have a single token. Not infinite, but a significant chunk of mana. And the thing is, I usually don't get a chance to cast him, because not that he's bad, but I usually have a better 6 mana vampire in my hand.
Yeah.
Let alone 2 or 3 vampires before that. I do pass 2.
You only have one land untapped, right?
1 black.
Okay. So, and mirror costs 2. Okay, I just wanted to be sure of that. Alrighty. Let's do this. I'm going to play Is It Boiler Works? It enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Oh, wait.
You had all those?
You know, I'm going to stop on that. I'm going to bring up the mountain.
To answer the question, it is a Boiler's Work.
I'm not going to cast it. I thought I was thinking it was just simply the tap land that you could tap for either, read the card and then you'll understand the card and it goes a lot better for you. So it's my combat. I'm going to move to combat if that's okay with you. I'm going to swing in with good old Inalla.
I got no blocks. So does she do something that she does combat damage or just does 4?
No, she just does 4. She just swings in and does 4.
26.
Play the land. And I think I'm done, Travis. So I think I'm going to pass the turn to you, sir.
All right. Come on, vampire. It's not a vampire. I'm going to play a mountain.
And yet you're still winning. I've been trying vampire, and you're still winning.
Hang on. I'm going to tap and pay life.
No, I understand that completely.
Come on, vampire. It's not a vampire. It's not a vampire. So what is the best way to do this? I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 2 for Mirage Mirror to copy that.
Okay.
Is there a more convoluted thing I can do here? There might be.
You can't do it to copy your own commander because he's legendary, and then it would just kill. You would have to choose one, and then I'm assuming you would not. Yeah. So yeah, if you're.
No. Hey, there might.
You haven't done it yet. You haven't done it.
Yeah, it might be something going on here. I want to do this to see if I can do it for no better reason. Okay. Well, yes. Tap to copy that. We'll just do that. Okay. So it is now a 4/5 wizard.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to combat.
Yes.
Okay. Attacking with, and he gets another counter.
Okay.
So he is now a 6/6, and he's a 4/5.
I'm going to tap a black and 1 colorless. I don't know how. It's trouble saying that. And cast Go for the Throat. Destroy target non-artifact creature. So I'm destroying that.
He be destroyed.
And then I'm going to tap this for a black and a red. And I'm going to cast Terminate. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated.
Terminate?
We both have... They're different Terminates, right?
They're different Terminates,
different artwork.
Well, that went about as well as I was thinking it would.
There we go. You're not the only one that can terminate stuff, Travis.
Okay. So now I'm... Tap that for 2 mana. What do I want to do here? I will bring out, so that's 2 and 3 for the Cultivator's Caravan. It's a 5/5 vehicle. I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color to my mana pool. Otherwise, it has a crew of 3, and it becomes a 5/5 creature. I couldn't give it haste that turn, so there wasn't a lot to... I mean, in theory, could have tapped that too, but it would have haste. But I can tap it for mana.
Yes, right when it comes in.
And this is a strange play. But I'm going to tap 4. I'm hitting all the cards that I added to this deck, ironically, for Nineveh Earl's Disc. If nothing else, I mean...
And what does it do?
Pardon me, yes. I thought this was a famous card, but I never heard about it until I heard about it. So it is a 4-mana artifact. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can tap 1 and tap it, and it destroys all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, right now it hurts me a lot more because I have some sweet artifacts going on. But if things get out of control, it's there.
It's one of those cards which is just sort of like a persistent threat on the board. It's like something that's hanging over your head the entire time. Was the Sword of Damocles or whatever like that. It's always there, threatening. So it's one of those things which you feel like you have to force them to use it at some point. And in a multiplayer game, a lot of the time, people will gang up on you until you go ahead and use it, and then they sort of.
I wouldn't have done that in multiplayer because everyone would just start coming at me for no reason. No reason.
I like playing it in multiplayer. Okay.
But at least then it's there. I'm not holding up mana for it later if I need it, kind of thing. I passed you now that I'm completely tapped out.
You get to do a lot in each of your turns with that mana base, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Nothing overly effective considering I really am at 25, you're at 22. You killed 2 creatures, really good ones, last turn.
Okay.
And you have the only creature on the board. And we know how well my hand is stocked with vampires.
Okay, I'm going to tap the mountain, and then I'm going to play Is It Boilerworks? Talked about it before. Enters battlefield, return a land, and I can tap this for both blue and red, not either. Okay, so 1 red floating, and then I'm going to tap this for blue and black. So I've got 2 blue and 2 whatever. 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to cast Galecaster Colossus. It is a 5/6 giant wizard. Tap an untapped wizard you control. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Tap an untapped wizard you control. Return target non-land permanent you don't control.
So, even though it's my combat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually tap Inalla and then return the disc to your hand.
Yeah, I can see a lot of that going on.
So now I'm tapped out. This has got summoning stickness, so it can't attack. Though it can use this ability because it's not a tap ability. So that's one of the reasons why I can hit the board and immediately use that ability.
Couldn't you have tapped... Oh, he's not a wizard. Yeah, he's a wizard. Could you have tapped him?
Yeah, he is. I could have done that. I also could have tapped it, so I should have done that. But I've done it, so
right.
I'm going to pass the turn to you. That would have been the better play, Travis. So, yeah. Tap and untap wizard you control, return target non-land permanent. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it couldn't affect itself, but it can. It totally could have. And that was, you should have, yeah.
I'm going to lose this game. I'm so going to lose this
game. Don't lose this game, because it's going to screw up everything for the later games.
Look at what I'm dealing with here. Okay, I'll tap this to pay life, which is now getting not so insignificant, to draw a card. And now I can't even play anything, because it's going to get bounced.
Well, you can play you can stay ahead of the game basically by playing multiple things per turn.
Yeah, that implies I have things to play. Come on, man. I mean, I can just do that. I can do that. I guess I'm gonna tap for 4 mana to play Nefarious Disc again. It's not Nefarious, it's Nevinarials. And yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, so that enters tapped.
Yes, it does.
The end step, tap it, send it back to your hand. This is going to be weird because, like I said, and
I am drawing so many extra cards off of Underworld Connections.
I'm going to play Terramorphic Expanse. I can tap it, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. I'm then going to go ahead and move to combat.
Move to combat.
And I'm actually going to risk tapping them both and swinging in for 9.
So I am going to drop to 15.
I'm going to pass the turn to you, sir.
All right. Things going to change. Things have to change. All right, that's decent. It's decent. It's not great, though.
Like, the main thing is getting this off the board, right? Like, that would be, I'm assuming that would be sort of the idea behind...
I'm going to pay. But now I got to watch out for this. I just need an answer to that. Oh, man. Can I try for this? I'm going to filter. This and this for a black, a white, and 1 of anything.
Okay.
Okay. Black, white, 1 of anything. Float the 1 of anything, add a red.
Okay.
For black, white, and red, I'm casting Matthias Fiendseeker. I use a 3/3 with menace. At the beginning of my end step, I get to put a bounty counter on target creature that an opponent controls. For as long as that creature has bounty counter on it, it has. When this creature dies, each opponent loses... Pardon me. When this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life.
Okay.
So, end step. I have a 1 colorless floating. So, 2... And I get my vampire token.
Yes.
So, 1 colorless and 2 black. I get Captivating Vampire. Other vampires I control get +1/+1.
Okay, so now the deck is doing what the deck does.
But there's still going to be lots of returning to my hand, unfortunately, and no destroying of creatures. But I do have chumps.
Yeah, and you've also gotten ahead of the race of Ed has the ability to I cast
Whatever
something
I
and
play.
bounce it back to my hand. So you're that's
okay. So I did all that,
and you still have 3 mana to cast because you started off with a very strong mana base.
Yeah.
The other thing as well too, me sending vampires back to your hand is not the greatest for me either because every time they come back,
I do get a
yeah.
Okay. So they get +2/+2, +1/+1.
Okay.
So and so does he. So I can tap him to crew that to attack for 5. Still putting pressure on.
So it's a 5/5.
5/5. Still putting the pressure on.
Okay, so I'm going to take 5.
Okay. So
I'm down to 17.
We're going to move to end step.
Move to end step.
Okay, so I'm going to place a bounty counter in the shape of a...
While you're doing that, I'm going to tap and sacrifice Terramorphic Expanse to search my library for basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle my library.
Bounty countering.
Bounty countering.
It's complicated. That dude.
What do I want? Island. I'm grabbing here. I'm going to shuffle up my deck. I'm going to shuffle the deck, and we'll be right back after I'm done shuffling. Okay, and we're back, and I've shuffled up so we've completed your end step now.
Yes.
So it's now my turn.
Yes. He has the bounty counter.
He has the bounty counter. Now, the bounty counter is just like if it dies, you get to draw.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well, I think any opponent of his would. So that's why in multiplayer it's awesome because, hey guys, kill that buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For as long as it has this bounty counter, it has when this creature dies, each opponent draws a card and gains 2 life. So it incentivizes other players in multiplayer. I mean, I'm incentivized already to kill it.
Yeah.
You know.
So I got some interesting choices I got to make here. I'm going to play a mountain. I'm going to tap this island and play Soul Ring.
Oh.
Now I have to do some math. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in total. So 1 and 1 red and 1 floating.
A lot of math you just did there.
So 2 red and 1 floating. 2 red, 3 floating. Not 3 floating. Yeah, all floating. 2 red, 3 floating. 2 red and 5 floating. 6, 7. 1 more, just to be unsafe. So 2 red, 1 floating.
Oh, fireball, dude.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to cast Comet Storm. Choose target creature or player. Then choose another target creature or player for each time Comet Storm was kicked. Comet Storm deals X damage to each of them. So the 2 red, the X amount that I'm going to do is going to be 4, and that still leaves me with 4 more because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So there's a lot of damage coming my way.
Okay.
So, what I think
your creature's way, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. What I think I'm going to try to do is tap a white and 2 black when you've figured everything out to cast Nefarious Protection.
Oh no, not
so
that one.
I think I'm doing this right. This card's a little complicated to me. Until my next turn, my life total can change, and I have protection from everything. All permanents I control phase out.
Yeah.
Which means I believe they can't be targets of stuff. But
yeah.
Last time we did this wrong because last time we thought we said the tokens did not come back. But then
tokens do come back when it's phasing, apparently.
Yeah, which is weird. It's the only thing in Magic ever. So I'm gonna whenever you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to save you some more math and everything.
Yeah. When is it? And when did they phase back in?
When they're while they're phased out, they treat as though they don't exist. They phase in before the untap step, during my untap step.
Oh, okay.
So, but my life total can't change this.
Yeah.
So it de-incentivizes.
So they're all phased out. And they're going to phase back in during your untap step.
Yes.
So yeah, so Comet Storm goes off, and it does nothing. So I remember that one as well too. Got you out of a sticky situation. But last time we didn't realize the counters came back, so you're getting your full board back. Oh wow. Okay, so now I'm in trouble.
Those tokens I had lost last time, I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know about counters, but
so these don't even exist right now, so I can't even interact with them at all, even if I wanted to cast something else.
Apparently, phasing out is a very rare thing in Magic, and this was
it's an old. Yeah, I think it's like an older mechanic, right? So
and I think that became at one point at least, it was like a $20 card, which is why the Vampire deck. I think the price in the Vampire deck skyrocketed.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn to you.
Okay,
and then during your untap step, those are all coming back, right? Now, how many vampires does he need to start doing his crazy stuff?
5 vampires.
5 vampires. This is going to be interesting because I know what can happen very quickly and very easily. Okay, I'm just simply going to... Yeah, I'm not going to do anything on your untap, so you may proceed as normal.
Okay.
I have to time it.
Draw for the turn. Okay. I'm going to... So what I'm going to do... is I'm going to play Temple of Triumph.
Okay.
Enters battlefield, tap it for red, white, and I get a scry.
Yeah.
I'm going to scry that to the bottom. You're on the bottom, sir. Okay. I am now going to tap that to draw a card.
Okay.
Pay life, unfortunately. Drop to 13. I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Yes. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Red, white, black, and then some to cast Edgar Markov.
While that's on the stack,
Okay.
Galecaster Colossus is going to tap my wizard, and I'm going to return that to your hand, basically killing the token. So Edgar hits, and you still only got 4 vampires, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Man.
And Edgar does not give me a vampire. Lamentably.
He does have haste, though, right?
He does have haste. And he will do some work. But
let me know before we get to combat.
Yeah.
It's weird. I actually thought at this point that I would be in a position where I could just start machine gunning your permanents off the board, but it twisted quick to me now, feeling like I'm on my back foot.
No, you got 2 powerful creatures on the board.
Yeah. I know. I'm not saying like it's not hopeless. It's just definitely less of a dominant position I thought I might have had.
Okay, I'm going to go to combat.
Okay, pre-combat. I'm going to tap him to bounce that back to your hand. Now, you can choose to put that in your hand, or you can choose to put it in the command zone as far as
that's the point now. Put it back in my
hand.
Yeah. I will attack.
With him?
With him.
Okay, so I'm going to take 3, putting me down to 14.
And I will I should get a better counter, but he also has a bounce counter at my end step.
Okay.
And then I indeed just go to your...
My turn? So untap everything.
Oy, oy.
Draw. I'm going to... 2 black and a red. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To cast Kindred Dominance, choose a creature type. Wizards. Destroy all creatures that aren't of the chosen type.
Okay. So while that's on the stack, I'm going to tap both of those.
Oh, your life total rolled away.
To crew.
No,
Crew of
makes
my
sense.
vehicle.
So now you got a 5/5.
Now we got a 5/5. And they're destroyed, right? Graveyard?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. This is all going not the way I want it to.
Okay, so we move to combat.
Move to combat.
Okay, pre-combat. Tap to send that back to your hand. And then
swing for 5.
Swinging for 5.
Drop down to 8.
Then I'm going to tap for a red and a blue and cast Nivix Guildmage. It's a 2/2. I can pay 1 a blue and a red, draw a card, then discard a card, or I can pay 2 a blue and a red, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. I probably could have done that before combat and then made a copy of it with haste, but I wasn't thinking, so I'm going to pass the turn to you now.
All right. I'm not sure what I need. I know I have cards.
I think a board wipe is the one thing, or...
But a board wipe that will...
specific destruction.
And I'm always just 1 vampire off. Well, now I've lost that ability too, but... this is not looking in any way awesome. So,
that's right. I was like, why is one of your card backs different? I was like, because you have your commander in your hand.
Yes. Play a command tower.
Okay.
I mean, I can definitely do stuff this turn. It's just not going to do me much good. But what I can and will do, even though I'm getting low on life, I need an answer. Down to 7. Drawing a card. Come on. Like... Yeevish. None of that does me any good. Like, no matter what I play, with 3 wizards, it's getting bounced. I'll at least slow your attacks, which is what I have to do to buy another draw step and hope this works. So, tapping for 3. Red, white, or white, black, and 1, 4, 5, 6. Edgar Markov.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Stormkirk Captain.
While that's on the stack. Now, 1 second. Sorry, can I just read this for a second?
Yep.
I think I probably should have... Ah, damn it. No, I timed that very poorly. I'm going to go ahead and use him to tap him and bounce him. But I should have done that before because you still get the trigger because you've already cast it, so you do get a 1/1 vampire. I thought I was being so clever waiting, but I know I should have done it immediately before you even had a chance to cast. So.
A 2/2 with first strike, actually. Mwahaha.
Oh, that's right too, because they get. What? Sorry, you didn't read.
Yes, the Stormkirk Captain is a 2/2 vampire for a black, a red, and any color. He has first strike, and other vampires I control get +1/+1 and have first strike. So he doesn't get the +1, but he does have first strike because he has it anyway. Clever. 1, 2. Yeah, I pass to you.
Okay.
You have this pretty much. If you have so you can play wizard, you can tap him with him, and then tap another, bounce both, and attack for like a lot more than 7. Even if you don't have a wizard to play.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. Now, I was actually saving it for something different, but I think this is probably the best way to do it. So, blue and a black, and then 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to cast Silmagar's Command. I can choose 2, either counter target non-creature spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Target creature gets -3/-3 until the end of turn, or destroy target planeswalker. I'm going to give him -3/-3. No, I'm going to give him -3/-3, and I'm going to send him back to your hand.
Okay.
So basically destroying them both. Move to combat.
Move to combat.
And I'm going to swing in for 9, 10, 11.
That is it and then some.
Okay, this is really weird. I never thought the vampire deck would lose.
If it wasn't for him, I guarantee you.
I would have, yeah. This was the game changer.
Yeah.
So this is technically episode 77, which has screwed everything up for the future episodes. I still think it's better off having this up there as a better example of what the Mana Cave is all about. But I think what this means is we have to, at some point, do turn this into a best 2 out of 3. I don't think we're going to do that right now, but we'll say that episode 77, for those of you who are watching it, who've been watching for a long time, it's basically a new episode of the Mana Cave, which is replacing an old episode. For those of you who are watching this through the playlist in order, look ahead to Mana Cave 80-something, late 80s, early 90s or something, for maybe a continuation of this one. And also keep in mind that when we talk about how the vampire deck won the last time, it didn't. It technically did.
It dirtled.
But this is sort of like an episode of Star Trek, or even like Back to the Future, where we went back in time and we changed it, and now sadly there's been weird repercussions. The only thing is, for whatever reason, we're all stuck still in the same timeline as far as the Mana Cave goes, where this didn't happen, because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Time travel is all wibbly-wobbly.
Some sort of a paradoxal temporal bubble.
Yeah. So, but luckily we didn't destroy the universe by creating a paradox. But
we just returned to its hand. I'm not bitter this time. I'm a little bitter.
But we will definitely turn.
How many?
I guarantee you, if we turn this into a best 2 out of 3, the vampire deck will end up on top. The only reason this card is nuts.
That is nuts. Like, it's not even like tap 2. If it was tap 2, it would have made every difference in the world.
Here's the things that would have made a huge difference for the vampire deck. One, a quicker start with the actual vampires, as opposed to building a mana base. But I was still scared because this was a late draw.
But then I haven't had any of my insane vampires that cost 5 mana that lets you do X damage to this creature. You gain this much life when it happens. Like, there are so many of those in this that I saw in my first hand that I chose to mulligan away. So I'm like, no, I want 1 or 2 small guys to begin with, not like 3 or 4 mana rocks.
Because if you think about how long it took me to get a single creature on the board, which he immediately destroyed anyways, right?
Yeah. Well, I copied it first,
and I still ended this at 14 life, which means that I would have been dead. I think I would have been completely dead. And you were able to get Markov out super early, yeah. So this is probably not a typical 1v1 matchup between these two. And of course it wouldn't be, because I was really kind of hinging on the fact that the vampire deck would win if I were to redo this episode. So yeah, this might be confusing to some of you, but I still think it was worth it, as it's a better example of what to expect from other Mana Caves. So I'll ask the same question I asked the first time we did this. What do you think of 1v1 Commander?
I still don't love it. I still like my vampire deck. I keep tweaking with it. I wonder if I've gone too far one way, too far the other. Like, and in other games, you don't see a single mana rock, and you're like, you just can't get to cast any decent card. In other games, you see all your mana, not all, but even then, I had Thran Dynamo in my hand. That's the 4 tap for 3.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, that's a helpful top deck at this point. I get more colorless mana.
And the weird thing is that what you ended up adding to that vampire deck was more low drops.
Yeah,
and yet
didn't see any and I was drawing 2 cards a turn from pretty much turn 3 on, I think.
And this is probably the first time I ever faced you playing this vampire deck where you didn't have Blood Artist out on turn 2 or 3.
No.
So
he's a 2-drop or something like that.
I'm still on the fence as well too with 1v1 Commander,
because there wasn't a lot of creature. There was some, and every little bit of life gain would have helped. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. So. Because even then, once again, like despite the fact that this was really turning the tide, there was a moment there where if I haven't had that board wipe, I think you would have won. Because you needed 1 more vampire to activate that guy, and then at that point you steal this, and my life is over as far as the game goes.
The fact that you don't get a vampire with Edgar Markov actually adds for a lot.
Yeah,
that would have been 1 more.
That would have been the significant.
He deserves his own token. I
mean, but yeah, I'm still even though I ended up somehow winning this one, I'm still on the fence with 1v1 as well too. I think at some point when we have the time, if we either really tweak these decks or build our own decks specifically meant for 1v1, I think it would be a lot more of an interesting experience.
It doesn't hurt that he's a 5'6". Like, he's not even easy to burn.
He's also got a ridiculous body.
Yeah, he's not going to, like, die in a lot of combat. He's not easy to burn.
I mean, look at his body.
Yeah,
like, look at that.
He's swole, bro.
He's got abs for days. But yeah, he's got a strong little body. Big body, because he's a giant. Power. So,
it had to be 1 to 2 times a tough call. Do you even bounce something, or do you just...
The only one he couldn't go toe-to-toe with was Markov, right? Because Markov starts off as a 5-5 and immediately becomes a 6-6 with first strike.
Starts off as a 4-4, becomes a 5-5 the first strike. But depending on what other... I did have occasionally some lords out there would have buffed Markov.
Yeah, that's true too. So
buffed my Markov.
So yeah, that's it. This is kind of, like I said, this is kind of a weird, bizarre episode, especially if you're watching it out of order. But yeah, that's how an alternate reality would have had this game play out.
Yeah.
And once again, I honestly see us revisiting this and finishing this off as a best 2 out of 3, because I can almost guarantee you, best 2 out of 3, there's no way this wizard deck lucks out like this a second time in a row. So Travis,
for shame.
Thank you very much for indulging me to do this again, because I've basically taken a win from your column and put it into mine. But
bought me a beer and let me play a vampire deck. Yeah. Oh, you know what, dude? You're welcome.
I bought you a beer called Jerkface.
Hashtag you're welcome.
But yeah, hopefully you guys understand why I ended up making this decision. I'm sure some people are not going to be crazy about it, but I still think overall, thinking of each Mana Cave as an ambassador to the channel, I think this is a much better ambassador to the channel. Because I won. No. So we'll see you guys in the next episode, which I have no idea what that's going to be, but see you guys probably next week with another episode of the Mana Cave in normal timeline mode. See you guys.